The highest court in the land has spoken. The UK Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, has ruled on the definition of woman under the Equality Act 2010. This landmark ruling has sent ripples across the country, igniting passionate debates about sex, gender, and the law. The implications of this decision are far-reaching, touching upon fundamental aspects of our society. This ruling provides much-needed clarity on a complex and contentious issue. It affirms the biological reality of sex, a concept that has come under increasing scrutiny in recent years. The court's decision has been met with both celebration and concern, highlighting the deep divisions that exist within our society. The crux of the matter lay in interpreting two seemingly simple words, woman and sex. The court, in its wisdom, determined that these terms, as used in the Equality Act 2010, refer to biological sex. This means that a person's sex is determined at birth based on their biological characteristics. This interpretation has significant implications for sex-based protections enshrined in the Equality Act. It means that these protections, designed to safeguard women as a biological class, apply only to individuals assigned female at birth. This ruling clarifies the scope of the law and ensures that women's rights are upheld. This landmark ruling was not born in a vacuum. It stemmed from a legal challenge brought forward by For Women Scotland, a group advocating for women's rights. They challenged the Scottish Government's interpretation of the Equality Act, specifically its inclusion of transgender women with gender recognition certificates, or GRCs, under the definition of woman. For Women, Scotland argued that including trans women with GRCs in the definition of woman undermined the protections afforded to biological women under the Equality Act. They maintained that sex-based protections were specifically designed to address the unique disadvantages faced by women as a result of their biological sex. The heart of the legal battle lay in the interpretation of the Gender Recognition Act 2004. This act allows transgender individuals to obtain a GRC, legally changing their gender. The Scottish Government argued that a GRC effectively changed a person's sex for all purposes, including under the Equality Act, for women. Scotland countered that the Gender Recognition Act was never intended to redefine the meaning of sex in other legislation, including the Equality Act. They argued for a clear distinction between biological sex, which is immutable, and legal gender, which can be changed. Section 5. Implications for single-sex spaces. The Supreme Court's ruling has significant implications for single-sex spaces and services. The Court acknowledged the complexities surrounding this issue, but ultimately held that the biological interpretation of woman was crucial for these spaces to function coherently. This means that service providers, in certain circumstances, can legally exclude trans women with gender recognition certificates from single-sex spaces designated for biological women. This aspect of the ruling has sparked debate about the balance between protecting women's rights and ensuring dignity and inclusion for transgender individuals. Section 6. Reactions to the verdict. As with any landmark ruling, the Supreme Court's decision has elicited a wide range of reactions. For Women, Scotland hailed the verdict as a victory for women's rights, affirming their right to single-sex spaces and services. The Scottish Government, while disappointed with the outcome, has accepted the judgment and pledged to carefully consider its implications. Trans rights advocates have expressed concerns about the potential impact on transgender individuals, fearing increased discrimination and exclusion. Section 7. Sports, implementation and unresolved questions. The Supreme Court's ruling has ignited further questions about transgender participation in sports. While the ruling doesn't directly address this issue, it raises questions about whether trans women athletes retain an unfair advantage in women's sports. Furthermore, the practical implementation of this ruling by individual service providers remains to be seen. The Court's decision provides a legal framework, but navigating the complexities of single-sex spaces requires sensitivity, understanding, and clear guidelines. Section 8. A divided society grapples with change. This landmark ruling has shone a spotlight on the deep divisions within our society. The debate surrounding transgender rights is often fraught with emotion, misunderstanding, and deeply held beliefs. It challenges our understanding of sex, gender, and the very nature of identity. Finding a way forward requires open and honest dialogue, respect for differing viewpoints, and a commitment to protecting the rights and dignity of all individuals, regardless of their sex or gender identity. Section 9. Looking ahead, navigating complexity. The UK Supreme Court's ruling on the definition of woman under the Equality Act 2010 is a significant moment in our legal and societal landscape. It provides much-needed clarity, but also raises complex questions that require careful consideration. As we move forward, it is essential to navigate this new terrain with sensitivity, empathy, and a commitment to finding solutions that uphold the rights and dignity of all members of our society. The journey ahead will undoubtedly be challenging, but by engaging in open and honest dialogue, we can strive to create a more just and equitable future for all.